I was about 12 years old when I had this nightmare that I still remember vividly. I entered my room and, as I entered, I saw a creepy creature standing above my bed. It was scary and creepy. Her thick and strangely dreadlocked hair were fluttering above my bed. Suddenly he grabbed me and put me on the bed, and I sat down in fear. I saw that his face was hidden in his thick smelly hair, but his eyes shone like lightning. My body was paralyzed. My voice was gone. I immediately closed my eyes and started asking God for help. I kept humming and she kept laughing, calling my name. Suddenly his voice changed and started talking in my mother's voice. Suddenly my eyes opened and I immediately jumped from the bed. That night I sat on the corner of the bed all night. She wasn't really there, but I felt like she is sitting on my bed waiting for me to sleep. I was walking on a crooked path in a dark forest. I looked up and saw 3 girls walking in front of me, behind whom I was walking. It was like they were showing me my path. One of them turned back and I was blown away when I saw her. That young girl was my best friend Sarah. Sarah said, "Come, I will show you the way," and I followed her. As I walked towards, I noticed the ground became scary. I started feeling strange. I was afraid as I looked down, because there were human skulls on the ground, big and rotten. I stopped and as I looked up everything had changed. Sarah was gone and I was now standing in a horrible, decaying and smelly building, instead of forest. The walls here were covered with human skulls. There were human skulls everywhere, and suddenly I heard Sarah's voice behind me. I was shocked as I looked back. There was a dead skeleton standing instead of Sarah's. Have you ever encountered nightmare as a prisoner, hopeless at life, locked up alone in a rotten, smelly room? I saw in front of me a strange man sitting in despair. Horrible, smelly, hell-like room. It looked like he didn't want to go out. I was disgusted by this house. I started going out. As soon as I came out, I saw that this house was surrounded by trees. It was very quiet here. I felt strange and I started moving forward. That suddenly I saw a cave between the trees. I heard howls. And then suddenly a terrible creature came out of the cave. Its mouth was bigger than its body and it was moving towards me in extreme anger. Then I understood why that man had imprisoned himself inside the house. I started to run, but in the blink of an eye, the terrible beast reached me, and my eyes snapped open. In the middle of the cemetery there was a house that was just like my house. It seemed strange to me, but I went inside without thinking. As I walked towards house, I heard children's voices coming from inside. I curiously entered, but as soon as I entered, there was silence. I kept opening the doors of each rooms, and in each room a ghost wrapped in a white sheet was stopping me from entering the room. I heard footsteps behind me. I looked back and my dead aunt was standing there, and she was holding the hand of a little unknown girl. They were looking straight to the corner of that hall. As I looked to that direction I got in sweat. A strange, scary monster was standing there in horror. Suddenly it started attacking me, and I immediately started running down the stairs. I kept running and it was following me, but the stairs were never ending. It was the worst nightmare of my life. Dreams are sometimes so strange that they have no meaning. The world of dreams is still a mystery to science, a mystery that cannot be solved. Most people see beautiful things in their dreams, but I often see my dead relatives in my dreams. My grandfather, whom I loved very much, appears to me in a deserted forest. He constantly calls out to me to help me. I often don't sleep in the fear of nightmares. I see men surrounded by wrath, anger worse than wrath. I often get lost in the deadly forest of dreams. This forest never ends. The horrors here are killing me. I am tired of the desolate settlements of nightmares, the insensible creatures here, and the extreme loneliness. I am looking for the peace, after which my dreams will be illuminated.